My name is Rashonda, and today I'll be presenting to you today and going over the details in reference to minimum wage. Just think about for a moment when you were a senior, maybe in high school, and you got your first job, and that first job you were told by your boss that you would be making $7.25 an hour. Now, at that moment, it really didn't matter. You were just excited to have a job and you were still staying at home with your parents and you didn't have that much responsibility. But as the years go by, you've graduated. No longer is it, I'm just going to school. You have a car, you have insurance, and then all of a sudden one day, your parents tell you that they think it's time for you to move out. So all you can think about is, what am I to do? I only make $7.25 an hour. How am I going to pay for an apartment, car, and other responsibilities with that? Well, this is a topic and a subject that's impacting many people. It may not just be teenagers, but primarily for adults. There's people that are trying to live off of $7.25 per hour and have been actually living off of that for the last 7 years, which is really the last time uh, for the state of Texas where that was presented for an increase of minimum wage. Now, the good part is when President Obama was in office, it was proposed to raise the federal minimum wage rate to $10.10. Definitely a significant increase, but maybe not to most. We still say to ourselves, how would I survive off of $10.10? Especially if it's not just me, but I have a family to feed. Well, this is why I actually chose this topic. I had the opportunity to do some further research. Now, believe it or not, once upon a time, minimum wage was at 25 cents per hour. This was in the year of 1938. Now it has increased to $7.25, and there has been at least 29 states that actually increased their minimum wage beyond the federal minimum amount. But just think about the many impacts that minimum wage actually comes into play. Even though minimum wage is the main topic, we also have other issues that would have to be addressed. If someone is just being paid $7.25 per hour, they possibly, if it's them, and we'll just say they have at least 3 kids, we'll just say even if it was a husband and wife and they had 3 kids and they both were making that, maybe a combined income would be a little bit better, but still it puts them in a place where they're unable to maintain their responsibilities, which also impacts the poverty rate or poverty level within the United States. If you did not know, there's so many different people that are on what's called a safety net program. The safety net program was created some time ago, basically to provide for lower income families. That way they're able to get assistance for food stamps and other different things for medical care, Head Start, or just a few. So I propose to you, based on the information that we've covered today, there's definitely a need for an increase of minimum wage. And again, not just looking at the poverty level that are impacted based on the minimum wage, there's many other factors. No one should be put in the position where they're striving and struggling from day to day to survive and provide for their family because there has always been different proposals of why the minimum wage would not be a good idea. You have some small businesses that indicate that they don't have the funding in order to be able to increase minimum wage and still keep the same amount of workers. But just think about your boss. If they paid you more than $7.25 per hour, there would be a different um, impact in how you would work as far as your productivity. You would strive to do so much better if you got paid more money. And we know everything is not about money, but we know that is the way that we all are able to maintain our standard living, or be able to provide for our families and have the bare necessities. There has also been talk and issues about raising the minimum wage because there was a thought that it would impact unemployment. They feel like there would not be enough jobs available with the increase, which is definitely not true. There has shown that if the employer actually is able to increase the minimum wage, that necessarily still would not impact as far as them being able to keep their business running. Now, maybe they may have to go back and reevaluate some budgeting and maybe the number of employees. But studies did show that there's employers that took that chance and that it did not impact, and there were not a lot of layoffs. There were not any layoffs. Actually, the unemployment rate decreased when this happened. So we have to understand that this is a big issue. We have to get involved. I actually took the initiative and I have a proposal that I would like to present, a petition that I would like for you to sign. This petition I wanted to use so we can actually voice the need and the concern to other lawmakers that this is a big issue in our community and there is a need for change. Thank you.